There, we're live. What's up, you guys?
Hello.
All right, let me get this over here. Find my own page. Ooh, cool. That was quick. What's up, you guys? Matt Jablonski here with The Point of Change.
Caitlin Tana.
And
Krista Purdie. I was brain dead tonight, you guys.
she's so brain dead she don't even remember her name. I'm really gonna have to leave this shit, huh? Oh man.
It's been a long day.
I'm not even gonna share this. A lot of people have been sharing my lives into my group. There's no lives allowed in my group. Not even my lives are allowed in my group. I know that's not fair, but I don't care. Whatever. What's up, everybody? There, we got some people coming in. Let me get some comments pulled up over here. Kelly, what's up? John Morgan, what's going on? Josh and Lori, Michael McNeil. What's up, you guys? Throw some hearts up.
Always forget that you don't see them on the computer.
What do you mean?
Hearts and stuff.
No, you don't see them over here. That's a big reason why I pull it up over here, too, so I can see the reactions. Because I like seeing my hearts. Yeah, my heart's
that's why I'm watching it on the laptop, so I can see it, comments on my side.
Oh.
In hearts. I need to know if people are laughing at me or loving on me.
It's good because, like, well, if you're like me, I'm used to live presentations too, and when you're in front of a regular audience, like, you can see if they're picking up what you're putting down, if they're nodding along, or if they're laughing.
Right.
You can see it, but when you're on a computer, you have no idea what your reaction, your crowd is looking like. Oh, so Krista, it's been a while since you've been on The Point of Change.
It has. It's been a while since I've done really anything. You're my break-in to coming out of my shell again.
Yeah, coming back
and doing my thing again. So this is getting me comfortable.
This is the perfect topic to kick that off. Becoming your
perfect.
Right? Right?
Absolutely amazing.
Heck yeah. So I think we'll start off with just a simple question of what is someone's true self? What does that mean to you, being your true self?
Schnizzle. Okay.
Is it like do you think it's like a career thing or an attitude or an outlook, or how do you feel about true self?
So being my true self, especially when I got clean, I already had that in my mind that I wanted to be as transparent and open as I could because I had already been an addict for so long. So it was only up from there anyways. Everybody already knew me as a piece of shit addict that did the worst of the worst, right? So it was really only up from there. So I wanted to be as open as I could about my story so it could help more people. And then so stepping into my recovery and into motherhood, single motherhood, and trying to like find my place in the world, it was super important for me to be my true self, because I not only wanted to see, I not only wanted other people to see my growth, but I wanted to see it within myself too. I thought that was the doorbell. I don't know what that was. Now I'm deaf in this ear and you're in this ear, so shit, I don't know what's going on behind me.
He's watching cartoons.
I hope Raylan's okay. No. I think I hear her. I don't know really. So yeah, it was super important for me to be my true self, and that was just being open no matter like what anybody was going to say about it, because I know that I was going to get judgment for being an addict for so long, like how there was going to be people that were going to be like, how dare she think she can come into this and just live life after all the horrible mistakes that she made. I knew that people were going to judge me, like as I was stepping into the real world, that people were going to judge me on my past. And I was being super open about it, like everything. I put everything on the internet, right? Mm-hmm. But I also had the mindset that if I already put it on the table, then nobody could ever hold anything over my head. Nobody could ever say anything about me because I already said it myself, right? So I don't know. I think for me, putting my true self out there and being my true self is embracing my past, my present, and like who I'm trying to be, and not trying to like stuff myself into a shell like of what people like perceive of me to be or think that I should be. Just doing what I want to do because I want to do it, and being proud of myself and knowing that I feel okay with me and it doesn't matter. I don't know how.
Amen. I'll drop an amen on that. That's awesome. I love the recap right there at the end. Brought it all together. That was beautiful. That was great.
I don't really know what I just said, but I hope
it all just kind of flows out. You just become a vessel at some point.
Yeah.
No, that was great. That really was. And I agree with, with just being your open and true self, and just, owning the fact that you are an addict in recovery, and that this is that's a part of your life, but that you never know what the future is going to hold, and just owning who you are for not only for your past, but your present and your future. That's a beautiful way to look at it. Myself, I thought of it more as like your true self as being your higher self, as being like that not looking through the eyes of Matty, but when I like step outside of myself and I look down and I see myself and I'm able to analyze what I'm doing in this world, like as if I'm looking at someone else, and I see the way I treat people and I see the things that I do. And then I ask myself, like, okay, what kind of a person acts that way? What kind of a person talks that way? And when I came into recovery, a lot of learning of who my true self was exactly that, was self-analysis, was like, okay, well, why did I just have that thought? Okay, what kind of a person thinks that way? Okay, well, what's the root? Why did I start feeling that way? And really getting into the analyzing of why I think the way I think. That was me getting into my true self, And I think it took a long time, and eventually when I got into that, I started to realize like that I didn't like the person I was. I didn't like the thoughts that I had. And that was a hard thing to overcome too, realizing that I wasn't the person I wanted to be,
That yours is a lot more awakened. Yours is a lot more spiritually awoken.
He got time to think about these questions, though. You and I are just thrown on the spot here.
He prepared.
Well, Krista knew that this was the topic, was that moving into your true self. Yeah. So, but what you said was perfect as well. It's just two different views on it. And that's what I love about having you on here, is like our views, like your view is always a little different than mine, but you have such an amazing way of putting your thoughts into words as well. And that's why you're one of the few that have been a return guest on The Point of Change. I haven't had many people that I bring back on frequently, and you've been on here many times. And one time that you missed out.
Such an honor, for real. Such an honor. I feel like each time I come on, though, like I'm literally at a different stage in my recovery and in my life. It's like always completely different spot that I'm in. I liked what you said, though, about like really examining things and not liking how you thought. Like, what did you say? You didn't like how you thought about certain things?
I realized that I don't like the way that I was thinking. I didn't like the way I thought about a lot of things and the way I reacted to a lot of things. And then I had to do a lot of digging into myself on, okay, why do I think that way? Why do I feel that way? Why do I react that way? When someone, says this to me, why do I instantly jump to a defense, or why do I do this when I hear these kind of words, And after digging into myself and realizing, that it was coming from, like, a lot of it comes from childhood. I think a lot of us realize that in our recovery, is that a lot of the stuff that we went through and the mindset that we had came from our childhood. And maybe it was real stuff, maybe it was perceived stuff. But either way, a lot of it stems from not just childhood trauma. I just mean like childhood decisions that were made. Some of it's trauma, bad things that happen, but even the good things, we were shaped and molded when we were kids, and a lot of it, just manifests itself when we get older. And it may or may not be your fault. Maybe it was something that you came up with. Maybe it was somebody else's thoughts they put in your head. But either way, now it's our responsibility to do something about it when we realize it.
Oh my gosh. So I'm kind of going through that right now because I like that. And becoming your true self, I think that is a lot of self-inventory and growth and being honest with yourself and how you do react to situations or just how you handle things in general. So I am, because we know that my tiny terrorist is a terror. I love her. She is my heart and soul, but she is crazy. So I have been diving into like the gentle, conscious parenting thing. And a lot of that is because I tried it in the beginning. I was taking all these tips from different like influencers that were sharing their tips and sharing what they do with their kids. And I was like trying to put it into practice and it wasn't working and I was getting triggered a lot. So I guess that's like what it's called. Like when I get upset or mad that she's not listening or doing something that I need her or want her to do, and I'm getting triggered and it's making me upset and I start yelling or whatever the situation is. But that's what it says. Like it's a whole process. Like you have to make sure that you're good. Like I had to step back and really, I have to do some self-inventory now and look at my childhood, look at how I was raised and what didn't work for me. And maybe what the root of things that happened in my childhood, why do I get triggered by this certain situation? So that's what made me think of that when you were talking about that, is like, that's literally what I'm trying to dive into now, is like, because I can get frustrated easily, right? I mean, 24/7 parenting is not an easy task, right? So shout out to all the parents out there, because damn, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Like and as they get older, like the challenges, like I didn't raise my son, right? I lost custody of him when he was 15 months old and he's lived with my mom ever since. We have a relationship now, but he still lives with my mom. So I didn't do the toddler stage yet. And it's all new to me. So I'm basically a first-time mom, and I brought a lot of, the person that I was in my addiction, even though like I'm trying to live better and I'm trying to be a better person. Some of those things manifest. I should turn my notifications off. Some of those things manifest in my parenting, like when like I lose my temper or I'm a yeller, like, and I don't want to be a yeller. So I'm really having to like dive deep, and this is a part of my journey of becoming my true self. You know what I'm saying?
Amen to that.
That's Matty and Caitlin. You can say hi really quick, and then you got to go sit back down, okay?
Hey,
look,
what's
right
up?
Here, this camera. Say hi.
Hi. Can you hear us, or are we? No.
You're in my ear. So they said hi. They're in my ear, my headphones. Okay, can you go sit back down? We'll have ice cream when I'm done.
Can you take the AirPod out so I can hear the?
You can see them right before I'm done. Okay.
Oh, she's adorable.
Yeah.
She's gotten so freaking huge, and that's another thing that was awesome. That is awesome about you being a influencer online and stuff is, you haven't like done the whole like putting her in the spotlight or anything, but we've gotten to see her grow up in the background of your videos and stuff. Like you going live and doing not only the Krista Purdie stuff, but also your Lavelle stuff and everything else. She's a big part of your life, and she's been a big part of your lives. And I just remember, we've all just been watching her grow up.
She was like, I keep like the memories are like popping up now from 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's so crazy. Like she was just a little baby when I started. I could just keep her on my hip while I did a whole topic live. It doesn't work that way anymore. So that's why I gotta grow with this thing. So yeah, I just wanted to share that part because I know that we have like a lot of, sober parents on here, and it's a struggle, coming out of addiction and like trying to be a better person and trying to be present in your recovery, and then trying to be a good parent. And we have guilt, and then mom guilt, dad guilt, whatever. It's a real thing. And we're just, it's all a part of the topic, being your true self. You got to do a lot of self-inventory and growth and really look some places that sometimes get uncomfortable, but it's worth it. It's worth it having that kind of, it is sort of like a spiritual awakening, like when you really dive deep and then step outside of yourself. I like that you said that too, and kind of like looking down on you. And yeah, so
yeah, step up into that. Sometimes I like do like I'll literally like stop myself and think, okay, Matty, you're looking through Matty's eyes at this situation. Let's step out of yourself, and I'll like do like a physical, like climbing a ladder thing. Like I'll do like this, like, okay, climb up into the higher self. Okay, now you're looking down. There's little Matty sitting in his little house. Why is he so sad? Look at his badass house. Look at his car. Look at his job. Look at his girlfriend. Look at all these things. Why is this little guy so sad? Like, and then I like climb back down into me, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I see it now. Why am I being so sad? But it's, for me, being my true self is moving through those things and changing the way I reacted to situations. Because you realize over doing this analysis, I realized that there's a moment where you have a choice, right? When something happens, we have a choice. Am I going to be angry about this, or am I going to be calm about this? You have a moment. I mean, it just happens in a fraction of a second. But there's a moment there where you make a choice on how you're going to react to this situation. And it's not easy to get to the place where you like can make a decision there, but it can be done. You can go back to the basics and learn, okay, well, when this happens, I get triggered and I want to get angry, or, everything in me wants to get angry, but I want to be the kind of person who feels this way in those situations. So you kind of have to learn. First, you have to learn how to identify your emotions before you can learn how to control your emotions. But it can be done.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to try to fix how you react to situations, but I feel like that is probably the strongest like growth that I've had. Is not, I feel so much better when I don't react in anger or resentment or whatever. Like if I have like really sat there and thought about, like, you have that split second, like you said, that either you can just go at it or take a breath, and either silence is a good response as well, but sometimes in certain situations, but
probably more situations than I realize.
right. Okay. Gonna throw me off, but yeah, that being able to have that, like, gain that self-control as well, and that discipline within yourself to be careful, and you feel so much better. You feel so much better when you don't react that way. I'm gonna give you one shot to sit up here. Okay. Nope. Okay. Never mind. Don't start screaming, right?
I would say, like, too, like, another big thing for, like, the personal growth journey and, like, not reacting in ways that you did before. Like, for me, that was, like, acknowledging the little girl in me that needed healing. And that, like, she would always react in, like, anger and resentment. And, like, there was, like, certain moments where I, like, would see I get triggered. And I would react this way, and then later think about it, like, why did I react that way? Like, and then, like, went down into me and had that conversation with the little girl in me, like, oh my God, she still needs a hug. She still needs to be healed.
Exactly.
And that's a beautiful thing for people to wake up and start to, like, realize that inner child still needs to be held, and, that healing journey and everything, whatever that might mean, because it's different for everybody. And it's cool to have this topic and to hear so many people want to better themselves and awaken to the parts that need fixing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love seeing this many people showing up to thank all of you watching out there for showing up and having an interest.
I know, I'm trying to read the comments, but I keep missing them.
Yeah, my phone kicked me out of the live, so I'm back in. I can scroll up here, but they're.
I know that there were some long comments. I was trying to read those, but then Raylan
got
in here.
Go back up a little ways.
You can stand right there.
We're all the way up here. Okay. Back on the normal page. Michael McNeil. I used to beat myself up on what other people thought about me, but then slowly learned to let it go and not to beat myself up. Not care what others think. as long as I'm happy, healthy, and in recovery, that's all that matters. Right on, Michael. That's one thing I was going to bring up too, is a good way to overcome other people's opinions, because once you become your true self, a lot of people don't understand things that we do, and a lot of times when you become your true self, you don't even understand things about yourself. But there's going to be a lot of people that question the real you, and you have to overcome the opinion of other people and what they think about you and what they think about the things you do and stuff like that. So once you move into your true self and you start actually like being your true self, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to like raise an eyebrow towards you, and but when you really start thinking about it, especially in today's day and age with social media, you're going to have a lot of people's opinions coming in that don't really matter. There's a lot of people out there that just want to put their opinion on your life and tell you the way they think you should be doing stuff. And these are people that you have no idea who they are, or you've never met in real life. They have no real bearing on your real world life, but they're in another state on a keyboard telling you how they think you should operate your life. And but those opinions, sometimes, those people, I'm not trying to discount Facebook friends, because there's a lot of people on Facebook that we love, I know. Don't give her attention. I know. Don't dare.
I'm just waiting for the second that she stops sitting here quietly. I'm like sweating, like waiting for the moment that it all comes down, crashing and burning. Oh Lord have mercy. I was gonna say, like, that's something that I am like working through now. Like I could go like live and share my story all over social media. Oh my Lord. And share my story all over social media. And I mean, it was something to definitely, oh my gosh. It was something to get, she's going to spit all in my water. Used to is other people's opinions, but it was easier for me to be like, to just shoo away other people on the internet that I didn't know, that were, like you said, like in different states. Like I won't ever have any contact with them. But what I'm working on now is like people that, all right, swallow it. She's about to spit it at the camera, y'all. She is a wild one.
Oh, don't do that.
I'm about to make you get down if you don't sit right here. My Lord have mercy. But now that's what I'm working on in my life right now, is to like not worry about the opinions of people that I do know, right? Or that I work with. Or like as a being a mom and like trying to venture out with other moms and stuff, like I'm really trying to overcome that fear of judgment from people that I know now. And it's so weird though, because like at the beginning of my recovery journey, I didn't care what anybody had to say about me, like at all. So it can develop like later on, like if you don't keep up with your self-development and like working on yourself and, taking care of that inner child, like you said, Caitlin, then you're like, the human brain is like programmed to fill with trash, like about yourself, negative self-talks, like just doubt, all that kind of stuff. Like if we're not taking care of it and taking out that head trash on a daily basis, then it just fills up, and then things get harder later on, like when you're trying to grow. And so that's kind of like the spot that I'm in now, like coming out of, heart surgery and stepping away from a lot of things for a while. I haven't been working. After surgery, I didn't work on my self-development as much as I used to. Like that was my whole life for a long time. And that's why I felt so strong, like within myself and my confidence. It's fun. But now I'm like having to really restart that true self journey, that self-development journey all over again, because those same feelings of like fear of judgment and self-doubt and stuff, it'll creep back in, like without you even realizing it, until you're in a situation where then you're like, oh shit, like I forgot she was sitting right here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, like that it can, if you don't like keep check on yourself and continue to work on yourself and love on yourself, then that stuff can just pop right back in there. So it's just super important for me, like, to never like lose sight of that again, to make sure that I make myself a priority, and my self-care and my self-development has to come first before anything, because I cannot show up for her or for anybody else in my life if I'm not feeling 100% within myself first and foremost. So yeah.
Yeah.
She agrees.
Yeah.
All right, chill out.
Why is that thing?
Okay, but I need you to be quiet, remember? Okay, so stop talking.
It's so cute.
She doesn't like me giving attention to something else for a long period of time. Then this is what happens. Okay, you have to get down for a minute. Okay. Then can you? Okay, well, they're talking, so you got to be quiet, okay? Okay. All right.
Well, that's a lot of things in life are just all about that, being your true self and moving into your true self has so many different applications throughout life, not just recovery, but in your career and in your, work-life balance and in all those things. Being your true self starts to play a part in everything. For instance, with Caitlin and I, like, we both are walking forward in this Christian walk, and all of a sudden we started to realize things in our life that weren't lining up with the walk of being a Christian, being a good Christian family household and things. And we had to have this emotional battle between ourselves and God, kind of, of like, well, we don't want to be that way, that's weird to us, but that's what the Bible tells us to do, but we don't want to do that. So we had to go through this whole sifting process before we came to realize that when you have a struggle with God, you're the one that needs to change. And if this is the people that we want to be, then we have to make those adjustments, and I'm not going to get into detail on it or anything, but it's just, in moving into your true self, there are times when it's not so easy, when it's not like, oh, this is something I love, so I'm going to do more of that. When there are times when it's like becoming your true self is like, oh, I love this thing, but that's a thing that I don't want to have in my life anymore. As I move forward into the person who I want to be, that's not something that the person I want to be does. So now I have to remove this thing that I actually love. I actually really enjoy it, but I have to let go of it in order to be the person that I want to be and the person that I know I'm supposed to be. So those are the battles that are hardest, I think, like when it's letting go of something that is destroying you, or something that is bad, or when you've learned who your true self and who you really want to be, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I don't like the way I talk to people, so I'm going to stop doing that. Those are like kind of almost they're not easy changes to make, but it's easier to change that because it's something that it's obviously bad. That's something I don't want to do. But when it comes to something that it's like, wait, but that's the thing I love. That's the thing I want to do. Let's not talk about that. Let's bury that one for a little while. Let's talk about that later. Okay. One day down the road, we'll talk about that. But right now, no, and sometimes, it's what we say, it happens in God's time, not ours. Mm-hmm. And sometimes God's time is like right now. And other times God's time is like you have to wait for it. But sometimes God is like, I want you to do this right now. And you're the one that has to wait, Mm-hmm.
I'm like really trying hard. I'm sweating now, trying to keep her. Her faces this whole time have been, she is possessed. I swear sometimes. I don't know.
I was not looking at the screen. I was like, I'm just going to look over here so I can finish this serious sentence I'm saying.
The back of my neck is covered in sweat. This is something else.
Sweaty.
Oh,
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
sweaty,
sweaty. So I'm glad that the viewers here were able to hear your message, because I missed that last one. Just like I was trying to talk to her over here. Okay, for real. I'm about to put you down.
Oh, oh. Shit's getting real. Shit's getting real.
This is where it takes a turn.
Oh, man.
Anyways, so
Hey.
you made some really amazing points the last time. I'm sorry, Matty.
No, you're
But I'm
fine.
glad that the viewers were able to hear your message because I know every other word I heard was absolutely amazing. So you want to pick off somewhere else because I can't even spin off of what you just said.
So, what is your tip if somebody starts to realize they don't like something about themselves?
She's throwing things at me right now.
Oh, man.
Are you gonna sit up here and be quiet? You want to come up here? Can you sit still? I'm getting the death glare, right? Okay. Anyways, okay. So a tip to give somebody when they realize they don't like something about themselves.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Can you hear that? Is that loud?
No.
It is.
No, not at all. It's just
Raylan,
totally quiet.
hold on.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So I didn't get to
It's
say
cry
anything, so I was
time,
like,
Mama.
I need
It's cry
All
time.
right.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe you should just say something real quick, and then let me try to get this situation under control.
Sure, I'll let you go control your daughter. There. Oh, hey, babe, you want to have kids?
I'm down for adopting somebody. Way down the road.
This is great birth control right here.
Honestly, that's what my girlfriend Kayla used to say all the time. She was like, I'm like your living birth control.
Let's borrow. We'll borrow Krista's daughter for a couple nights.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Kids are great when they're not yours. They're fucking awesome when they're not yours. As soon as they're yours, they're tiny terrorists.
I'm sure Krista would love to have a babysitter for
She's
a few
coming
minutes.
back over now.
She's she'll be like totally. She'll be like, you guys take her just for a couple nights. It'll be great. Oh, there she is. Let's see.
Okay.
Yay! What's up, little
She
one?
just wants to sit in my lap, so
Oh.
we'll see. Okay. All right. So thank you. Maybe she'll be sweet now. We'll see. Alrighty. Okay, so a tip I would give somebody that realizes they don't like something about themselves, right? Is that it?
Yeah, something they want to change. What can they do?
Oh my gosh. Now this is a hard question to answer. So there was a lot of things that I didn't like about myself when I came into recovery. Like I did the worst of the worst. I did people dirty. I did myself dirty. Like I treated myself like crap. Oh my Lord. Okay, I got it. Let me sit back down. I treated myself like crap. Like I stole, I lied, I cheated. Like I did all the horrible things, right, to support my addiction. And so when I came into recovery, I didn't like anything about myself. I didn't even know myself. I'm not like trying to just look at me while I'm talking. I didn't even know myself yet. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what my personality was. Like I had used since I was at a young age, right? So trying to figure all that out coming into recovery was a journey in itself, but there was so much that I didn't like. So I had to, really, I looked outside of myself. Like what I did personally, I dived in to like researching. Like I put it into Google, like how do I feel like more confident? How do I gain self-love? Like I really did that. So like, motivational speakers would pop up or compilations on YouTube, and I was alone. I was alone for the first 2 years of my recovery, and I poured into myself for 2 years straight. Like, that's what I did. I like literally researched how to love myself and how, oh my God, how to gain that. And so, I mean, I know that that's not everybody. I don't know like the specific advice to give, but that's literally what I did. I spent time away. I didn't know how to be a friend. I didn't know how to be anything. So I was trying to find that within, within myself first before I ventured out into the world. I wanted to make sure that I was good. Like, I was good on the inside. I did have that love for myself and didn't worry about what other people had to say or what they thought about me. And that literally took me 2 years. It took me 2 years of pouring into myself and feeling just being able to overcome. Raylan Lee, Jesus. Okay, but I'm telling you to sit back, please, because you're hurting me up here. So yeah, that's what I got. That's what I did personally. I know that that's all over the place,
that's
but
perfect. I love
experience.
Experience-based answers are the best. And that's exactly what I was hoping for. Was exactly what you did. No, and I love your answer because Googling shit is like, that's like such awesome advice. I tell people that all the time. Like, just start Googling your mental illnesses. Start Googling what you want to know. There's healthy Googling and then there's not healthy Googling. I mean, there's when you're Googling something that's so specific that you're trying to find the answer that you're looking for, you know, and I can't tell you how to identify when you're doing that. You'll know, like, you just have to look and like, why am I really Googling this? Am I trying to find the answer, or am I trying to find the answer that fits what I want to hear right now? You know, and sometimes we get a little ego driven and we're trying to look for a specific answer. But when you start Googling like ways to cope with things or ways to do things, like, for instance, there's been times in the past since we've been together that I've Googled like, my girlfriend's mad at me, how do I make her happy? Like, I will literally Google shit like that because I don't really know what I'm doing. So I
Google everything.
I will literally Google like, what should I do when my girlfriend's angry? Or get advice from other people. And I've done that a couple different times, and just different things, of not just when you're angry of what can I do, but like, my girlfriend's sad, what can I do to cheer her up, you know? Just because like I've already messed up. You know, I totally have messed this thing called life. I've really messed it up in the past. So I've opened myself up to taking other people's advice on things, you know, and learning how to be the person I've always wanted to be. Woo! Woo!
She's not a baby anymore. She's so big, and I'm so tiny now. And I'm like, I'm getting a workout, and
you are, dude. That's
trying
like,
my best.
That's what I was just thinking. It's like, holy crap,
stop screaming.
Baby PT going on over there.
Yeah. She just farted on me, so that's the icing on the freaking cake.
I was trying to about to ask if you farted because it stinked in here for a second.
It was really, it's not me.
Came right through the screen.
Oh my god. I like, Matty, though, what you said about like when you're like ego driven and kind of just trying to find the answer that you want to hear. Hold on, let me say this right. Finding the answer that you want to hear, like, that's exact. Like, I made sure, like, you have to be, I mean, obviously there were times like when I didn't want to realize certain things about myself that I didn't like I was like, no, like, that's not me. But I really had some toxic traits. I had some toxic traits coming in to recovery, and I had to get really open. Raylan, don't start that. So I had to get like really open and honest with myself, like uncomfortably honest with myself. Oh my gosh, I should have turned my notifications off. They're going crazy. But yeah, honest with myself. it's been a rough 3.5 years. Like, we're just trying to make it through life, really. We're just doing our best over here. So yeah, honest with myself. Like, I had to really be in a desperate spot where I wanted, Jesus, I'm not gonna move you anymore.
No.
Lord have mercy. I had to get in like a desperate spot where I wanted that to change.
She's got
I wanted
so
that.
much energy. Can you imagine
never-
having that much energy and like just bottled up in that little body? Look at her. She just can't even
It
sit
doesn't-
still. Just
From the time she like opens her eyes in bed, like I watch her wake up and she's just like, like out the freaking bed. Like as soon as she just gets up, opens her eyes and gone. Like Jesus Christ.
oh man.
I love it. Motherhood is the greatest joy in the
I
entire
bet.
world.
I bet.
No,
So happy.
I love her. She does. She teaches me those things about myself, like to be more patient, like because I'm not. Don't touch that I'm not all the time. I'm definitely not, right? As she gets older and we face, she's a very weird child as well. We face different challenges because she gets older. She has more energy. She wants to do more things. She's asking more questions. And I have to find that, like, now I'm like, okay, so how do I be patient? Like, how do I not get triggered? Like, what do I need to look into? And I have to, at this point in my life, like, I have to get really honest about why, like, diving deep into what's going on with me. Like, because some of the things that happen, it might not trigger somebody else. It might not make somebody else, angry or upset or just frustrated. So why is it making, like, what about that situation? Like, I just want to give just one general, I can't even think of any words, are hard right now, Matty, sorry.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
So I'm not a good toddler mom, and that's something that I just got and I'm about to start making content about too, because I was like, you know what, like, I'm not a good toddler mom. I don't like the toddler stage. I don't enjoy it. But you think that to yourself, but then you're thinking about saying it out loud to people, and then you're like, I'm gonna get judged. They're gonna say I'm a bad mom because I don't like the toddler stage. Like, no, like, I know that I am not unique in that, because so when I have a thought, I have to think, like, I'm not unique. I'm not 1 in 7 however billion people that are in the world that have that thought, that feel this way, right? So I'm gonna start sharing about that for real. But I don't like the toddler stage, and it's probably something in my childhood that stems from my childhood about, like, why I don't like this. I don't like to, like, play. I don't like to do, like, the finger painting. I don't like the coloring on the walls type stuff. Like, I don't like the toddler stage. Of course, I'm gonna show up as a mom, and I'm gonna take care of her and make sure that she has the best, but I don't enjoy it. And that's okay. Like, I am trying to, at first I wasn't okay with that. I was like, you can't have these thoughts. You can't think that way. You can't let people know. Like, I really thought that way at first. And then as I've, like, dived more into it and trying to figure out, like, why do I feel like, why don't I really enjoy that playtime? Like, because I see moms on social media everywhere. She's watching herself on the delay on the computer, and that's what she thinks.
Oh, okay.
That she's seeing herself move afterwards. Yeah, that's what's entertaining her right now. Okay, so
I know that feeling. I totally know how entertaining that is. I do it too.
But yeah, so I'm just even now at this stage, like, I'm just having to be super honest with myself, and then if I want to continue to help people by sharing, like, that that transparency and that realness of my life, like, then I have to realize, like, I'm not the only one that feels this way. And if I speak out about it, because I don't hear many moms, like, on the my eyes are blue.
Oh, why is it blue?
I don't know. I don't even have an answer for that right now. See, these kind of questions, like, I just like don't know how to explain things to toddlers very well. I'm just like, it just is. It just, the sky is blue because it's just blue. Like, I don't, but I'm not unique in that, and I shouldn't, I'm not. It doesn't mean I love her any less. It's just, Raylan, calm down. You're smacking me with your beats. It's not funny.
It's just part
Lord
of the
have mercy.
parenthood
But
journey
anyways,
that
I
you're
just
not
wanted
enjoying.
to.
No.
Yeah,
totally
I just
get
wanted
that.
to share that specifically, I think was the word I was trying to think of 15 minutes ago. But
It's
just
it,
that
you know, I
like,
love it though.
specifically.
I love what you're saying there because that's very true. Like people don't like the truth when the truth is something that isn't palatable, like for instance, when the truth is that you don't enjoy the toddler stage, that this isn't fun for you right now, and people think that, oh, well, that's not right of her to say that, you should always love your child no matter what. And, even saying like, I don't like it when they puke on me, or I don't like cleaning a diaper or anything like that. You're instantly mom shamed over that, oh, well, you should want to take care of your daughter. You should want to take care of your baby. There's nothing wrong with, somebody who doesn't like poop, that doesn't make them a bad parent, or, somebody who doesn't like the finger painting and all that stuff. That doesn't make you a bad parent. It doesn't make you a bad mom or anything like that. And in fact, I think more people should open up about those things. And even I talk about those sides of recovery, the sides of recovery that people don't like to talk about, that people like when I say that,
No.
when I say that every once in a while that I think about doing meth or think about, suicide and things like that. And people shame me for, she's gone. Well, wait. Parenthood looks so awesome, you guys. Oh man.
If you need like birth control, it's right here.
Yeah, we were already talking about that. This is the best birth control we could have ever asked for right here, yo. Oh no, it's all right. It is.
No, it's amazing.
Being a parent is awesome, you guys. But like I was saying, like when I talk about things about recovery that people are like, oh, you're in recovery, you should never talk about like that you don't like this about recovery, or you don't like that about recovery, or that you miss this about doing drugs, or the freedom that drug addiction brought me. I talk about that pretty regularly. I talk about like the freedom of being a homeless drug addict, of not having to pay rent and not having to do this and not having to do that. And I just get scowls when I talk about that kind of stuff. Oh, there she's back. She's back. Let's see if she can hold it together, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see how long this lasts.
That's all right. We don't have too much longer to cover here anyways.
I just had a thought in my head and it's gone now. That happens a lot. I have mom brain all the time now, where I think that's why I like stopped doing so many lives on my page and stuff, because I completely got into mom brain and couldn't like have one fluid thought because it just got to, no, you're going to sit here if you're going to sit up here, okay? Beside me. Look, we'll put the camera on you a little bit more.
She's at such a busybody stage right now for you too. It's hard to do this and, to raise a child and make a video,
Yeah, that's how I'm going to try to start like incorporating that stuff, like what like I shared in the beginning, like about that stage of my life and my recovery. And so now I can just, because I felt like a loss of identity there for a while, because I was like, am I just a recovering addict? Am I just like a mom? Like I want to be more than that. And so what did I just say? Don't listen to nothing. She's really just me in a 3-year-old's body. I am literally raising myself, which is a lot of fun. So that's great. But I did have a thought, but it was fleeting. So.
That happens.
I'm glad she can entertain. I was nervous. I messaged Matty before this. Anybody who's watching, I messaged Matty before this, and I was like, look, I'm just going to go ahead and let you know.
We're going to have some interruptions.
We might have some interruptions.
Okay, I'll be gonna go to my park.
Oh, you'll be a good girl so you can go to the park?
Yeah.
Now you're deciding 15 minutes in?
Now I'll do it. Now I'll be a good girl, Mom.
That's what I told her. We could go to the park in the morning if she was good. And so now she's like, oh, I'm going to be a good girl for the last 5 minutes of this thing.
No,
Still can go to the park. She's a master.
I think I can hold it together now.
You need to sit in a chair
Okay.
out in my park.
Okay.
But don't just leave me out the park. Just leave me out. Just sit on the park.
Okay.
Oh.
And we really need to go to the store and get the big Oreo.
She just talks to talk. Like, it doesn't ever make any sense.
Just wants to hear herself
anyway.
talk.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Child.
Go ahead. Any other topic? Flashcards?
Well, I think we have got a pretty good, awesome video here.
Thanks for saving me from
Anything else you want to add to it? Oh, Caitlin?
I would say definitely a big part of continuing on into your true self is opening up and, sharing more about how you feel about being a mom in the toddler stage, That's sometimes being your true self is not going to be accepted by others, but it feels so much better to be honest with yourself and out loud about it, even if people are going to reject it. So props to you for starting to share that part of your journey. And I can't wait to support you on that.
Oh, thank you. It's coming. I'm getting ideas together because it's definitely coming. I need to share about it. I think that I need to. I think that was a huge part of growing in my recovery in the beginning is being able to share my struggles, but also sharing how I was getting into the solution as well. And now I can, not only help myself in the process, but hopefully help some other people as well that have not been able to share. Motherhood is hard in general, single parenting, and this stage is not fun for me in particular. Now, some people are they love their kids this age and it's the funnest stage. Not me. I'm ready for kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready for let's have a conversation. And yeah. So anyways, and that's okay. So I'm excited. I'm not going to worry about what anybody else has to say about it because it doesn't matter because I'm still a good mom at the end of the day. I know that. And that's about stepping into your true self too, is really feeling secure in your intentions and your heart, right? If you're really working on finding your true self and being your true self, I know I'm a good mom and I know I have created a good life for her and will continue to, and I love her with all of my heart, but this stage is just not my jam, and I'm going to share about it because I know that there's people out there that feel the same way. So maybe help some people in the process while helping myself.
That's exactly where it's at too, because opening up about it for yourself is going to help you get it off your chest, and other people will relate to that. There are so many people out there that need to hear somebody else say it and I guarantee there's people out there that feel the way you do, but they don't exactly, it's not that they don't want to say it. They just don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know the words to say it. And I myself, there was a time when I was struggling with, compassion fatigue. I went through a period where I fell into compassion fatigue, but I had never even heard of compassion fatigue before. And I was watching a live video and the guy was talking about it. And he said, that these are some of the symptoms of compassion fatigue. And as soon as I heard those words, I was like, woof, it was like this weight lifted instantly. I was like, that's what I'm having. That's what I'm feeling right there. And it just finally gave me a name to the demon that I was fighting. It finally gave me a name to the enemy I was facing. I can finally research this thing. I finally have a dog in this fight. I can finally stand up and say something to this thing. And so I think there's probably parents out there who feel the same way you do, who just can't take they just don't really like this toddler stage, or they're just not identifying with that. And it's not their jam, like you said, but they don't have they don't want to say that because of pressures of society. People will think you're a bad parent if you say that, like you said, or they don't know what they're struggling with. And I think you starting a page or a YouTube channel or something like that about that would be awesome.
I'm excited for sure. Hopefully I'll stop talking myself out of posting that first video and get straight into it, you know. I still have some self-doubt over here creeping in, but it's all good because I know I'll get there. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. You'll get through it. I know you will. You always
Thanks for having me on, Maddie.
Hey,
I'm
no
excited
problem.
that you asked me to come on because I needed this.
Okay, I'll be
So
in the
bad.
bike.
So I appreciate you and Caitlin. You're amazing.
We appreciate
You're
you.
amazing.
Thanks for coming on here and sharing with us and taking some time out. And thank you, Raylan.
She's like a little Jim Carrey, like with her freaking facial features. And
A million masks right there in her face.
she's something else. All right, so can you say bye to them?
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Right here.
Can you take your pie?
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Bye.
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 Have a good night.
Here.
Stay tight.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, y'all.
All right. Have a good night, Krista. Bye. All right. Bye, everybody. Oh, well, I guess she left. Never mind. I was gonna end the whole video, but she left us. That's okay. She definitely had her hands full tonight. Holy man, talk about a little tiny terrorist just taking over the video.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
she did a
okay.
good
I
job,
think
though.
there's some really good messages throughout all of that, and yeah.
I agree. That was an excellent video. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me along.
Yeah, Krista, thank you for being here. We're so happy to have Krista come on. There she. Hey, she's in the comments now. Good, good. Yeah, thank you, and thank Raylan for being on here and just giving an awesome message, man. An awesome message. Anybody that's watching, I hope that you guys, if this is something you haven't thought of before, I hope this maybe opened your mind to thinking about moving into your true self. And if this is something you've thought before, hopefully this was a little bit of a review, and hopefully you've seen this from somebody else's personality. I love some of the things that were talked about tonight of analyzing your thoughts and of what Krista was talking about trying different things. Yeah, there was just some awesome points tonight made of not only of how to become your true self and how to explore, being open and honest about being your true self, being honest with yourself about what you really want, not caring what other people think about that.
Yeah.
You have any other things you would like to add to this topic?
Yeah, I think we nailed it. I apparently bit my cheek at some point, so I'm ready to skedaddle on out of here.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Well, we have a Facebook related injury, ladies and gentlemen. So we can finally say
He's talking about people be looking at Facebook running into walls and shit. So this ain't the first one.
all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. This was an awesome video. I really hope this helps somebody out there in some way. Make sure you share this out. Throw some hearts up. Throw some thumbs ups up. Throw something. React to this video. Comment on it. Share it out. Tag somebody. All that good stuff. Hope you guys have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully, I get my dentures back tomorrow. Hopefully. But tomorrow's Toothless Tuesday, so I won't be wearing them anyways. But hopefully I get them back. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Until then, stay happy.
Stay healthy.
And stay clean.
Woo!